Currently, it's 42.
Fanatic.com is on the air everywhere and brought to you by Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, Streets Maintenance, the Oxyokin and the Amanas, Premier Automotive in North Liberty, Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City, the Midtown Family Restaurants, Suple's Flowers, home of 1-800-800-ROSE, GT Car and his crew at Suple's Building and Remodeling, Mike's E-Keys for cars, Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement, and Deary Brothers Ford, Patrick Eads' place on Mormon Truck. Here, sitting in for Suter. He's on his way back is Jim Hunter.
Honor.
And here's donning his headphones is Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com. There he is. Hi, Pat.
Yeehaw. Another week.
Yeah.
You got that Monday energy? Been a good show so far?
Oh, God, maybe the
best ever?
The finest.
So you're saying Suitor who? Is that the theme today?
Hello.
What happened to our men yesterday?
They got beat by a better team.
Well, yeah. It took 6 minutes before they could score.
Well, they are streaky that way, but then you knew they were going to make a run, and they got it down to 4. I mean, they had a chance. They gave themselves a chance in the second half. They had a chance, but, yeah, when it was 7, but they had to dig so much. I mean, you don't fall behind 17-2 on senior day at home. That was
and
not
what
good.
was bad was you had to sit and listen to that ILLINI crap.
Actually, I did not. I wasn't feeling good yesterday. I didn't go. Dallas was there. I wrote from home, but yeah.
Oh, they were all over. There
I know.
Orange people everywhere.
I was told, though, that the Iowa fans were pretty active, too, that it was a good atmosphere. Illinois just was the better team.
Yeah, and they said it was a sellout. There were thousands of seats over on the south side that were empty.
Well, remember, we've been through this before. The tickets were purchased. The seats may not be filled, but the tickets were still sold. That's what that means.
Well, it was the student section.
Yeah,
so.
still all on break.
But the tickets were still sold if they're saying it was sold out.
Yeah.
So that's.
Oh, okay. But there was a big empty area over there.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what happens sometimes.
And did you hear about the LSU South Carolina brawl?
I did. I saw it on Twitter. I didn't. I don't care. I saw it.
Well, some people, Angel Reese had nothing to do with it, and some people were coming.
Well, the narrative from it now is how both coaches, the responses from both. Don Staley handled it a little more diplomatically than what's her name down at
Kim
LSU.
Mulkey.
Which, gee, there's a shock.
Mulkey.
Mulkey was mad that the 6'7" girl pushed her little girl and said she should have pushed someone her own size, whereas Don Staley said it was a bad. Both teams need to learn from it and move on.
And then somebody's brother jumped over the...
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it was not good.
Were they led away in handcuffs?
Yeah,
Somebody
he took
was.
it away, and then the mother came out yelling, well, he was trying to defend his sister.
Yeah, but you don't need to go on the court.
No, you can't.
No, there's plenty of people that can take care of it.
Yeah, you don't need to get involved in a brawl.
Yeah.
And we're sending 9 wrestlers to which was pretty good after they really started out doing pretty poorly on Saturday, and then they came out on Sunday on the consolations and did fairly well.
Wow, you're the only wrestling fan I've seen say anything halfway positive. Fans are the ones I've read. They're not finishing fourth in the Big Ten championships. It's not.
Well, third.
Fourth.
Yeah,
well, I read in the paper. I read and heard that it was third. They finished.
No, but it was Penn State,
Michigan, Nebraska, Iowa.
Yeah,
they're fourth,
and Iowa was only half.
Well, even
if
it was third, those same fans aren't going to be any happier.
No,
yeah.
This isn't the
well,
end.
no, because you want to finish first.
Sure.
Well, yeah, especially if it's Iowa wrestling.
Close anyway.
So, yeah, it was sort of a.
Well, Michigan did fairly well. They had a lot of people in there going for the title.
Yeah, Penn State is by far the class, and they did this without one of their best wrestlers who didn't even compete. One of their 3-time champions. Yeah, so Penn State's just they do have 5 seniors, so Nobody reloads like Penn State, though. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing. Well, this is Iowa. This is Iowa vintage mid-1980s. Mm-hmm. What's going on at Penn State right now?
Well, and then 90% of the people there at the wrestling were Penn State people. Of course, that's Maryland's close to
Yeah.
Penn
Yeah, when
State.
I saw it didn't look like it was even that big of a crowd. They showed a lot of empty seats for the championships yesterday, I saw.
Karn, did you go up to the women's nationals in Cedar Rapids at all?
No, but I had I had some friends who went, and they said they really enjoyed it. And of course, the women won. And they said there were several of them where there was two Iowa people against each other.
Yep. They played. They had a great first season. It's a good testament to the whole
But
team.
if anything, they need more competition.
Yes, that's true.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All
Well,
right.
have a good day.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
What do you got, Captain? Look like you ready to read something on your phone or
No.
just checking it out?
People message me with crap. And I decide whether to make it part of the show or not.
Do they want to be part of the show?
All of them. Everybody wants to be part of this show, Pat.
Yeah, everybody has their own opinion on it.
Everyone except Suter.
Well, they want brands out.
That was a joke. Did you everyone except
Yes.
Suter?
Yeah.
Didn't get it? Tommy texted me a picture. It's a picture of Ann. Big smile on her face. It was something with kind of one of those big champagne type
Big
glasses,
champagne.
and it's the substance is orange. So I'm guessing it's vodka with a shot of orange juice.
Maybe a mimosa or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe something like that. But she looked really happy. I think it was I don't know if they were at the arena or whatever, but Tommy texted it to me just to give me an update on how they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, people. Yeah, the Brands brothers are not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, you just got to deal with it's frustrating right now, but you can't just lose your ability to make sense and to be reasonable. I mean,
Well, we're so spoiled
well,
here.
plus the other thing is, Cale Sanderson's not leaving Penn State to come and coach the Iowa Hawkeyes. I mean, not that that's what, but I think fans think we got to get rid of Brands right now to get something better. What's out there right now that's better? That's going to beat Cale Sanderson and Penn State. I don't know. I mean, but on the other hand, fourth is not.
It's not good.
That's not good for Iowa wrestling in the Big Ten. It's not good in the NCAAs. But yeah, no, this was they had one guy in the finals and he got tech-falled. It was just not a good performance. But like Tom's Brand said, you have to move on. They've got opportunity now in the NCAAs. I'm hardly a wrestling expert. Penn State looks like they're just going to run away with it again. And you're wrestling for second, but Michigan and Nebraska have both. I mean, right now they're pretty even with Iowa, and but now then on the other hand, I think Michigan beat Iowa, but then I believe Iowa beat Nebraska in the regular season. But this is different. The setup now is different than a duel, what have you. But no, fourth place is, like I said, we don't need. None of us are experts, but we know that's not what Hawkeye fans want or expect with wrestling. So,
no, but every time.
But sometimes
you
it
wanna
happens.
Fire everybody.
Well, yeah,
it just gets freaking ridiculous after a while.
Yeah, I just think I think this is really frustrating with Iowa fans to see another dynasty sustaining and to have it be a Big Ten school. I mean that can't be easy. I mean, I remember back in the '80s. I've never been a huge wrestling fan, but my age, like the class of '86. The 85, 86, my senior year of college, that was maybe the greatest Iowa wrestling team ever, if I remember. That team was loaded. I just took for granted their dominance. We all did. Yeah. But we never really failed. I think we failed to realize what it took every year to do that. And things change. But, I mean, but I remember 1988, I believe they finished like sixth. But then right away, the Brands brothers came in and Dan kind of corrected that. And then, boom, there they were again. Just win. But right now, Cale Sanderson is Dan Gable and Penn State is Iowa. That's just the way it is right now. And it's frustrating. But it will be fascinating to see what the Brands brothers can do to try to catch up again because they are clearly behind again. Yeah. So, I mean, Iowa had that run. Unfortunately, the COVID year, Tom has won 4 NCAA titles. He won the last one in 21. They would have won that COVID year. They were the best team. I mean, they say they could have had 2 there. That would have given him 5. But still, Penn State, I think they've won 9 out of the last 10. It looks like this will be 10 out of 11. I mean, it's just clearly Penn State is the class right now. So we'll see how that goes. And but yeah, thank God for the women yesterday. And plus, we need to mention, and I'm going to try to get him on the radio. NCAA champion, 800 meters, Iowa track.
Oh,
Rivaldo Marshall, first NCAA individual champ since 1998, I think they said.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be the Hawk Fanatic Athlete of the Week, which I'll update later. What a great accomplishment for him. But there was a lot going on with sports yesterday. I didn't want to bug anyone from sports to try to arrange that interview, but I believe they're on spring break this week, or were they on spring break?
No, this week.
So hopefully he'll have some time. I'm going to try to get him on the radio. I think that would be a good interview. I mean, to win any event, but the 800 meters indoors, and I saw, man, his surge at the end. It was impressive. They finished 9th overall. Iowa did.
Yeah, the highest finish.
Yeah,
second highest finish in the last.
So congratulations to Joey Woody and everybody. That was a nice showing, and
they had 3 second-team All-Americans. At the end of the meet too, which is cool.
But yeah, to have an individual champion in a pretty marquee event. I mean,
the 800
meters and to have it indoors. I think, is that 4 laps around the track indoors? I think
so. Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but I think it is. But yeah, great work by Rivaldo Marshall. And what else do we have now? Iowa baseball dropped 2 out of 3 against Jacksonville State. God, the second game, didn't they win like 20-1?
20-1.
Then they came back and lost the next game 6-1. Baseball's such an odd sport.
Well, and they had a 4-run lead going into the Saturday makeup game, and they gave up a walk-off 3-run pinch hit homer to lose.
Yeah, it's just been some tough luck. What are they, 7-8 now, or
I think
are they 8-9?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's just they got to get going.
The softball team's right even right now, so
they just can't get any traction. Yeah, and the softball team they dropped that doubleheader to Santa Clara. That was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, they won the doubleheader on Friday.
And they won that one against, but then they lost. They
Sunday.
needed to win. They needed to win that doubleheader. They needed to at least get a split. So yeah, they ended up going. Did they lose just one game on Sunday? I haven't posted that.
They only played one game,
so they ended up going 2 and 3 over the weekend.
So they're even, and they play UC Davis in California this afternoon, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you'd like to be above 500 going into Big Ten play.
Yeah, they still got a bunch of.
I'm guessing UC Davis is probably pretty good. Now, I would have said the same thing about whoever they swept in the doubleheader too. I just assume usually those California teams are all pretty good. So
yeah, they're in
California.
Kind
of, softball and baseball are kind of in the same. Neither team can get any traction going right now.
And they're in California all week. They play St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 70s here
on Wednesday, and then they've got.
So they're up in northern. It's probably warmer here than it is in Northern California.
Tuesday or Friday.
Well, that's luck.
71 on Tuesday or Wednesday. Is that the? What we're looking at?
71 today, tomorrow, and Wednesday maybe 73, and then it drops into the 50s. But
50s, that's normal.
50s.
I mean,
and that's when the Iowa baseball team has their first home series.
Man, it's weird. The plants and the trees don't know what to do as far as.
Well, not only that, the birds.
Well, I know one bird that knows what he's doing, and he's driving me crazy. And that's actually, I'm glad you brought it up. Anyone listening? There's this bird that is pecking a side. It's right now the size of a silver dollar in the side of my garage. And he's doing it right by where my neighbor was kind enough to cover up some other holes that birds had pecked through. I know they're in there to get like microbes and food and whatever. I guess it's in the wood and whatever.
Yeah.
But I dealt with it. I didn't feel good yesterday either. And I dealt with this freaking bird for probably 5-6 hours. Finally, I got my old baseball glove. And when he was out there, I just missed him by like a foot. He didn't come back after that. Birds hopefully were smart enough. But right now, he could be just chewing up my garage. It's just, in just a matter of like 8 or 9 hours, he dug a half a dollar size hole inside of my wooded house.
I dealt with that when I lived on Sandusky.
Well, I've been dealing with it, and what's funny is my neighbor has the exact same wood structure, doesn't touch his.
What they say you need.
Well, I've been through hang the streamers. That doesn't work.
CDs.
Yeah,
hang CDs.
No, I'm not going to do that. I've heard. I want to get something to spray. Where it is,
there's.
That's if anyone's listening, and I'm going to look it up. Because I'll get up on a ladder. I want to get that hole caulked, and then I want to spray something that when they don't, that'll keep them from wanting to touch the wood. There's got to be something.
Cat urine, maybe.
I don't know, but there's.
I contact DNR.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to do. And if anyone's listening that might know, because this is amazing. I mean. literally, I went through this for 5 hours yesterday. I'd go inside, and all of a sudden, he'd come start, and I'd hear the pecking again. I'd go running outside. He'd look at me for a second, and then when I'd say, get the F, then he'd fly away. But after a while, he wouldn't fly away until I started hurling things at him. And then when I started hurling things, then he would go away, wait for me to go inside, and then the moment I'd go back inside. So there was a while where I stood out there for 15, 20 minutes. And it was just driving. And plus, like I said, I didn't feel good either. It was just pissing me off.
Well, that's what we were dealing with that cardinal the other day.
But it wasn't digging a hole in the side.
No, it was pecking at the window and just.
Yeah, we were trying to stop it from killing itself.
It's amazing what that thing did with its little beak and literally.
Oh, no, they made. Listen,
I mean, this hole's this big.
I know.
And I'm worried he's trying to get big enough so he can nest in there.
We had the same freaking thing, and it drove us nuts. And I don't remember what we. Everybody was telling us, hang this and hang that.
Well, I tried the streamers on the other side of the house, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, and we didn't try the CDs and crap. And we weren't going to do that. But we got somebody out there.
There's got to be something you can spray.
No, there is something.
Okay, well, I'll figure it out. Why haven't our callers called to help? Don't we depend on them for guidance and support?
We always do.
We put a... But I'm telling you, it was amazing. This bird was playing me. I mean, the moment I'd go back inside, that idiot went back inside.
It's frustrating.
Let's go, and it'd go right back out there. And the funny thing is, I'd go and I'd peek my head around the corner there because it was in the back corner. And when he'd see me peek my head around, he'd stop pecking. And he'd look at me. And then I'd sit there and stare at him. Then he'd start pecking again. Then I'd go run up and get the F, and then he would take off. And this went on literally for like 5 hours yesterday.
Okay. There is Bobcat, Wildlife, and Pest.
That's the comedian. Remember from Shakes the Clown?
And he's in Iowa City.
Oh, really? I'm going to call this guy. All right.
Yeah, you got something to write down? I'll give his phone number on there.
No, we're on the air.
Here's something you could text him.
Or we could deal with it after the show. I mean, we don't need.
Well, I could give.
We're giving this guy some free publicity.
I don't care.
Maybe he'll come over
and charge you.
What if the birds attack him? It's like all of a sudden it's Alfred Hitchcock. Shooter liked that movie, and I never did. Did you like it?
The Birds?
Yeah,
I saw it as a kid.
How about the scene where she runs into the phone booth? Remember that?
That's scary.
I had my own version of the bird. It was a bird.
There's no music in that movie.
The other thing that pissed me off is all he would do, I guess it could have been a she, but all he would do was fly to a tree 10, 15 feet away, stare at me, and just know that this idiot's not going to stand out here all day. He's going to go back inside, and then we'll resume.
You can put a fake owl out there.
I've heard that one, too. Where the hell are you going to, I mean, how do you support it? This thing's 15, 20 feet up. It's right near the gutter. It's 15, 20 feet up on a hill. Fake owl. But there's got to be, I mean, so you're saying there's a guy from Iowa City that has a spray?
Yes.
All right.
And it comes up, he's the first thing on the Google.
Is it a monopoly? Because if it is, he may be expensive. Yeah, I can get over there. It's going to be $1,800. Because I can't imagine there's a lot of competition.
I'll send you the...
What if he starts advertising? Do I get a commission?
No, you don't get it. Why would you get a commission?
What if
I looked them up.
What if I'm like, hey, you'd really benefit by advertising on KCJJ because the locals love us. Okay, that's a good idea. If that happens, I would get commission. I'll see what he says. I'm going to call him. I'm going to. Thank you.
His deal now.
Because this is. I mean, of all the things you think of as a homeowner, this was not one of them. And I've been through a lot. Broken clay pipes, as you guys were saying. I've been through all that asbestos, radon, all that crap. And now I'm being terrorized by a little tiny bird.
You'll have to open up the picture.
I know how it works. I know how it works. I get a lot of text messages sent to me. All right, back to the Hawks.
What do you think of the gals?
Oh, I thought I knew they were going to make a run. I didn't know if they'd have enough to win. But they did, and I also knew that Nebraska was going to eventually stop. When you're launching threes like that, eventually the law of averages, they were going to stop going in, which they did. I think Iowa was just a slightly better team than Nebraska, and it came to be. And what's amazing about Caitlin is, I mean, you knew she was going to make some big threes when she needed to, but for the tournament, she did not shoot very well. I mean, her three, she missed a lot of threes, and yet she still dominated the tournament, had great stats. They won. But what I liked about it, though, is the fact that she didn't shoot very well, and they really needed her supporting cast to score some points, and they did.
Yeah.
And that'll give them confidence going into the tournament because they can't win a bunch of games in the tournament with Caitlin scoring 35 to 50 points a game. They need her to get in the mid to high 20s with 10 to 15 assists. Then they're playing better. But no, it was a fun win, 3 in a row. I mean, like I said, every game now she's down. The most games she'll play now as a Hawkeye is 6. That's how many it takes to win the tournament. So you just cherish every game that's left with this team, and especially with her. And
I just find it so ridiculous. But she had an off night, and she scored 34 points.
Well, she had 30 in the second half and overtime.
Yeah.
She only had 4 at halftime. Her 3-point shot. She did make some big threes in the second half, but her 3-point shot was off for most of the tournament.
It certainly was.
Yeah, it just was not on, and she'd be the first to tell you that. But
she
finds other ways to score. She gets her teammates involved, and it was a big win for them. My only concern going into the NCAA tournament is I'm not sure. I wonder how good the Big Ten is. I mean, because Nebraska 10 losses. I mean, it seems like they had a bunch of teams like Nebraska, Michigan State, Michigan. Other than Ohio State, teams that were good but not great, and I just hope, I'm guessing they will be battle-tested because the coaches will tell you that the Big Ten's as good as any conference in the country. But other than Iowa and Ohio State, they didn't seem to be elite teams. I'm not going to say Indiana, to me, I'm not giving them the elite status right now, especially the way they played in the tournament to blow that lead. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's going to be a tough run, and each game you have with this team is a joy to watch them play, and I would be surprised if they didn't make it out of Iowa City. I would be very surprised if they lost. They're not going to lose the first-round game, but even the second-round game, which will be a tougher matchup, I just think this team's not going to let what happened happen 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But you never know. That's why you play them. And
your nephew is taking the side of the woodpecker.
What's he saying?
The woodpecker is marking its territory.
Well, screw him. I don't care.
Good luck. It should stop within the next month or two.
You know the size of the hole if I go a month? It'll be bigger than that pothole out in your freaking driveway. I mean, I can't this has to stop. This bird cannot continue to...
This will not stand.
This bird cannot continue to do what it's doing. It's completely out of line. And I swear to God, it was staring at me and mocking me. I think it was mocking me. Because he knows, I mean, and every time he would go to a tree closer, like he was like, all right, I get the routine. You're going to come out and yell and make an ass out of yourself, and then you're going to go back inside, and I'm going to start destroying your house again.
There was this, when we lived in Muscatine, the neighbor had a problem. We didn't. And they had a high-pressure washer. And
Ooh, that's what
I'll kill
I thought about getting my hose out yesterday.
Yeah, well, he took his high-pressure washer and went after the bird, and the whole side of his house splintered. The foot just splintered.
Wow, that must have been
Yeah.
Did he have termites?
I don't know what. Hello?
Any of you know, I thought I'd seen this earlier quickly, skimmed by it, but is Chicago, are the Bears getting a dome?
I don't know.
The Bears have donated, or they're going to donate $2 million toward a new facility.
$2 million?
Something like that.
That
doesn't seem like a lot, does it?
$2 million that wouldn't pay for the gravel out front.
Maybe it's $2 billion. They were breaking news on it this morning.
It couldn't be $2 million.
How long ago was the Soar on the Shore constructed?
20 years maybe?
See, and I just look at that and I think, man, that's a huge investment. And so is it pay off and then they can build another one?
Yeah, $2 billion.
Yeah. The Chicago Bears are proud to contribute over $2 billion to build a stadium and improve open spaces for families. The future stadium of the Bears will bring a transformative opportunity to our economy.
Closer to the lake?
Jobs.
So what are they going to do with Soldier Field?
Team had bought land in Arlington Heights.
Oh. Yeah, they tore down Arlington Park.
Don't you think they should be by the lake?
Yeah, they're not going out to Arlington.
Why did they buy land out there then?
They at one point they were thinking about it. This was like right after.
Oh, didn't you just read that they bought land?
This is a huge shift from the Bears' plan to build a stadium in Arlington.
Okay, good.
On land, and now the build site is moving back to Museum Campus.
Okay, so why?
More specifically, the parking area south of Soldier.
So they're basically going to tear Soldier Field down and build a stadium right next to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, I'd rather have them there than Arlington Heights. Nothing against Arlington Heights, but that's a northwest suburb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to be out there.
No, they just figured,
I just think the lake gives it some ambiance.
It does. They just figured, with the track already being out there, there was, they had plenty of land for parking and all that.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So
I forgot about that, though.
Yeah. And the White Sox are talking about building a new stadium, too, and the owner is asking the city for money, and the city's like...
Build where Comiskey is or somewhere else?
No, somewhere like on the lake, like south.
But still South Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should stay. I think I just like the fact that they're down there.
I like it, too.
I think it's cool.
Project would increase open space by 20%, include all-season free and accessible plazas, paths, landscape planted areas with access to
I wasn't blown away by the renovations at Soldier Field.
No,
when I went there for the Iowa game after it was, I'm like, I don't know, this didn't work for me.
No, they looked like they tried to modernize it on top of like a Roman ruin or something. It just looks weird.
It just does look weird, but man, it'll be. So I wonder if that where it is now will just be parking.
I would imagine
because they're going to be covering other. Okay, so I was not aware of that going on, but. All right, but the women, thank God for the women, because other than that, I got to sneeze. Other than that, it was kind of a depressing day yesterday.
It was.
The wrestling finishing fourth and the basketball game, boy, was I wrong. I thought they were going to win, man.
Well, a lot of people did.
I even thought when they were down by 11 at halftime, I told Rob Howe, I still think they're going to win. They got it down to 4.
Yep.
And I really did think they were going to win, but I'll give Illinois credit. They had an answer. They didn't fold when it got really close. And that Terrence Shannon, my God, I don't think I've ever seen a player that can get from baseline to baseline quicker than him. He is incredible how quick he can handle the ball and get from baseline to baseline. But it just was a deflating loss because had they won, they would have been almost a lock to make the NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. Now they got a lot of work to do. I think they got to win at least 2 games in the Big Ten. And they would have finished with a winning record in the Big Ten. Instead, they go 10-10. It's not a losing record, but it's not a winning record either. And it was a sellout crowd. They could have galvanized the fans. Senior day, and it just didn't work out. And like I said, I had this one wrong. I thought they were going to win. Now, I'm not ready to give up on them. They're the kind of team that come out and make 13 threes against Ohio State on Thursday, but they're also the kind of team that could come out and lay an egg against Ohio State on Thursday. Ohio State's playing better now. They're kind of motivated by this interim coach who, Ohio State's lost their head coach this year, so they've been through a lot. So that's game, and it's 5:30, right? Yeah. Iowa, Ohio State, 5:30 in a 7-10 matchup. Yeah, they won. They could have been a 5. It was just really deflating.
Well, isn't that the season low, 61 points?
61 is the season low for points, and you got to give Illinois. They defended, but Iowa also missed a lot of shots. They just never really seemed in sync on offense. And then to only have 2 players scoring double figures, Ben Krikke and Tony Perkins had 2 points each. Patrick McCaffrey had 5. The 3 players they honored combined for 9 points.
Yeah. Well, and they only got 2 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and they only got 2 offensive rebounds, and they got out-rebounded 50-33. It's easy to see where they lost the game. I just didn't see it coming. I thought they were going to play better.
Are you sure your nephew likes you?
What's he saying now?
I had one at my old house, won't speak how I got rid of it.
What, is she still dwelling on the bird?
Yeah.
I've moved on. We've moved on from the bird right now. The bird right now is probably at home. I'm going to get home. That thing's going to be the size of a hubcap. He's going to have friends in there.
He's going to be in your
He's going to be playing music.
A diner.
Yeah, he's going to be eating, playing music. And, hey, come on over here. Come on, Chirpy. Come see my new pad. That idiot will be home in a while. But right now I got to move on from the bird. We got a show to do. When's Suter? Are they on their way back?
I would think.
I think they're in transport.
Yeah.
So, because they told me if they won, they were coming back on Monday. If they lost, they weren't going to come back till Thursday. They told me. So, good thing they won. But yeah, the men now, they just, I haven't seen, I think they were in the first 4 out going into yesterday. Had a chance for a quad 1 win. So, I haven't seen the latest. Where are they? Are they the first 4 out? Look it up, Captain. We're Iowa men NCAA. See what we got. Lenardi, Mike DeCourcy, Stan in his basement. Let's see where Lenardi has him right now. Illinois is good though. There's a reason Illinois. What are they? 13-7 or no? They might be 14-6.
They're second or third.
They're second place in the Big Ten for a reason.
Yeah.
But I've never seen them play defense the way they did yesterday. I've seen some games where the last game was 95-85.
Mm-hmm.
But they won it on defense and on the boards. And then Shannon was just unstoppable in the first half when he had 18 points. But we can look that up during the break, too. I want to see kind of where they are as far as the NCAA bubble stuff. Because, yesterday was every loss is magnified now. At this time of year. And when you lose, it was a quad one loss, but still, man, they win that game 11-9. They're probably in. They probably go to the NCAA, the Big Tens, maybe not needing any wins to get in there. But now, like I said, it all shifts with this one game. And then Illinois sweeps the series. You hate that if you're an Iowa fan.
Yeah. So when is their selection show?
6 spots.
It's Sunday.
So they do it before the women or after?
The Big Ten tournament men's championship game is usually the last one. I think it usually starts at 2:30.
Uh-huh.
The men is first, and then the women.
Okay.
The women used to do theirs on Monday, but now they've changed it where they do it all on the same day.
7 o'clock.
But yeah, the Big Ten championship game is usually one of the last championship games, and that'll be this coming Sunday.
Okay.
At the Target Center in Minneapolis. Hopefully Iowa's in it. They've made runs like this before when you didn't really expect it, and like I said, when you have a team like Iowa that can score the way you never know. It can lose when you think it's going to win. You just never know with this team. It's so unpredictable.
What Jess Settle said when he was on with you guys, he said,
well, look at the record.
They score 85, 90 points a game. That's hard, Well,
look at the record. They're 10-10 in Big Ten play. What does that tell you? They're very inconsistent, very up and down. And that's just kind of the way
we've seen it all year.
But they're also the kind of team that has multiple scoring options. Tony Perkins isn't going to be held to 2 points in many games. I don't know. He just never had it yesterday. He was just not into it. Maybe the senior day stuff, maybe it was too emotional for him, and Cricky just couldn't get going. But for them to each have 2 points, that was just so much to have to overcome, and they just couldn't do it. Find anything, Captain?
No.
Maybe he hasn't updated
slide
anything.
Down here is that.
What's that?
Iowa men slide down NCAA bubble.
Who is that?
From the Gazette.
Oh, they must have something updated from today? Yeah, Halas writes about that. I don't do that very often because you're basically speculating on what other media people are saying. But yeah, what is it? I just want to know if it's usually you got Lenardi. He has the one that's the most famous. That's the one that ESPN uses.
Yeah, it doesn't say where they slide down. It just says slides down.
You got to click on the article.
I did.
There's no article?
I'm looking at the article. They should be in the dance, says Illini coach Brad Underwood of Iowa.
Of Illinois?
No.
Of Iowa, I see what you mean. Yeah, unfortunately, his opinion doesn't mean anything. And that's what every head coach says about the opposing team, especially after they just beat them. But, you could make a case for Iowa, but I just... like I said, I'm guessing they're one of the first 4 or next 4 out right now would be my guess. Maybe they only have to win one game in the Big Ten tournament. Who knows? Nobody really knows.
No.
TeamRankings.com has them a 24% chance of making the tournament.
Not very good.
No.
I'm guessing it was in the 60s or 70s, or maybe at least 50% going into the game yesterday. And if they won, I'm guessing it would have been 70, 80%. But, yeah, no, it was a very costly defeat.
They have no chance of winning, according to this site, the NCAA.
Yeah, but who knows? That could be Charlie in his basement.
When you, just give me a number and crap, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are. I'm listening. I think congratulations are due to Valley High School state champions. Let Harty know.
We talked about this the other day. I already ripped him and said I'm a Dowling grad. I'm not.
Yeah. You don't care.
I'm not. I harbor a 43-year grudge against Valley. I think about it every day. I wake up and one of the first things I think about are the losses I suffered to Valley. Now, which weren't very many.
It's AJ.
Oh, AJ Perez. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's kicking you.
He's kicking me when I'm down.
Are you down?
No, I'm not really down. That's the Valley Dowling rivalry. AJ and I live it every day.
Do you know anybody that is associated with the Dowling basketball program at this point?
Not now, no. I at least I don't think I may. Who knows? But AJ and I you should be proud. We've been able to overcome the angst and the festering hate from the rivalry to become friends.
You've extended an olive branch to each other.
I mean, and so often I think about the Dowling Valley rivalry, and it just tears me in just different directions.
He's rooting for the woodpecker.
He and my nephew.
No, he didn't say that.
They're both cheering for the. I don't even know if it's a woodpecker. I mean,
well, it's a woodpecker.
But it's still it's pecking wood. I'm just not sure what, because it's got a little red by its beak. It's got a little orange.
Yeah.
And it just stares at me.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Woody Woodpecker?
No. Maybe I'm being tortured because of that.
I loved Woody Woodpecker.
I don't know how smart birds are, but this thing was playing games with me yesterday. It knew what it had. It knew the setup it had, and it was just going to ride it all afternoon.
There are some birds that are pretty. Crows are extremely intelligent.
Yeah, the ones that are eating the dead carcasses on the road.
Yeah, well.
Some of them are so hungry, they'll wait until you're almost ready to run them over before they fly away.
Yeah, and then the crow flies over McDonald's and says, "At least I got what I ordered."
Yeah, that's true. How about the black crows?
Yeah, I like the black crows. You didn't like the black crows?
Not at all.
Why?
Just not my type. Uh-oh.
Well,
that's the business line. That's cash.
Well,
that's that wood guy, the guy with the spray on the house.
Hi, do you want on the air?
Hello?
Do you want on the air?
Yes.
Okay, you're on the air.
All right. I'm just reading this email from you guys that this dog breeder, Lauren Yoder,
yes,
he's complaining about animal rights activists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not an activist necessarily, but I do have an interest in promoting humane treatment of animals. And he's complaining about being charged with criminal animal neglect, and he thinks he's being run out of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? If that's so, I think that's a good thing.
We totally agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, you know, if those guys were run out of business, then these shelters wouldn't be overrun with animals, because people are going out and buying dogs and cats of a special breed instead of going to your animal shelters and getting possibly something very close to that breed.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people end up getting these special breeds, and then they determine that they're not manageable or don't fit into their lifestyle, and then they give them up to animal shelters.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So it's just like, you know, I'm all for it. Yeah, run them out of business, and him and all the other ones too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We agree.
What about the Hawks?
Thank you.
No, I agree.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
No?
I don't think she was interested in the Hawks.
No, she was.
No, I heard that report coming in.
She was as outraged as we were.
I don't feel sorry for that guy.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Hopefully he doesn't come in here spraying lead. You know.
Well, why did you have to bring that up?
Well, I don't think you think he was sitting at home. Wow, that's a good idea. What Harty just said.
Yeah. I said it, and I drive a Honda.
There is an exit that way, right?
Yeah.
There's an exit that way.
Yeah. There's another way out. Yes.
We'll see how fast you guys move then.
Yeah, you don't have to be fast. You just have to be faster than us.
But no, I see what that lady was saying. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
That was a pretty gruesome story.
It was.
No, it's ridiculous, and it's ridiculous the state doesn't care, and it doesn't care because it gets money from Lewis,
Tyson.
Liberty, Tyson. It gets money from
the meat
IVP.
processors.
Yeah. So they don't care.
Yeah, they don't want to. You know, it's a lot of states it is a felony if you have, criminal animal neglect.
As it should be.
It's a serious misdemeanor here.
As it should be.
Yeah.
So, should we take a break?
Yeah, with that.
What time? It's 11:45. This is usually about the time Suter says take a break.
Yeah. Allwoodpeckers.com. Check it out. It's free.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. 800-ROAD. Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
On an athletic team, you need team players, good athletes, superior equipment, and the best coaches available. In real estate, you need to have a good title and settlement team at your disposal. Hi, this is Steve Anderson. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, you need quality title and settlement services. Consider the team at Hawkeye Title. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Car won't go into gear? Call Premier. Premier Automotive in North Liberty offers full-service mechanical auto repair, in addition to being Eastern Iowa's most trusted name in auto body repair. Use Premier for all your auto repair needs: brakes, oil changes, air conditioning, diagnostics, transmissions, or preventative maintenance. Whether you hit a deer or your car won't go into gear, see Premier Automotive in North Liberty. When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Truck Month at Deary Ford in Iowa City. Bring in your tax refund and save. Buy a new 2022 Ford F-150 with 0% financing and up to $8,000 off. We have over 75 top-quality used vehicles. Trucks starting at $59.90 and cars from $49.90. Payments from $199 a month with 0 down. Truck Month at Deary Ford in Iowa City. Hurry in or shop online at DearyFord.com.
84 years of preparation, the wait is over. The Oxyokin's brand new book, Our Recipes, Our Story, is on sale now. 90 pages in full color, 67 recipes, and our unique history for only $24.99. Get yours while they last at the Oxyokin. Available soon by mail order along with our current serving hours at Oxyokin.com.
The Oxyokin.
Oxyokin, in the heart of Amana.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios, in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin in Jamaica, where Secretary of State Antony Blinken is scheduled to meet with Caribbean leaders on the spiraling crisis in Haiti. Violent gangs have blocked roads leading into and out of the capital in a takeover bid. U.S. Congresswoman Sheila Surflies McCormick represents a Haitian-American community in Florida.
Prime Minister Henry has been working and trying to put the country together, but it's been deterring even further. The gangs have said if he does return to Haiti, that there would be a civil war. So we're asking that he's not coming back.
Henry is expected to attend today's meeting in Jamaica. Benjamin Netanyahu responding after President Biden said the Israeli prime minister's disregard for innocent lives is hurting Israel more than helping. Netanyahu tells Politico,
I don't know exactly what the president meant. But if he meant by that I'm pursuing private policies against the majority, the wish of the majority of Israelis, and that this is hurting the interests of Israel, then he's wrong on both counts.
On this first day of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, Hamas is still refusing to agree to a deal on a hostage release. Police in Honolulu are investigating a motive after a man killed his 3 children, then himself, at their home in Manoa. Police Lieutenant Dina Toms.
Based on the evidence found at the scene and the investigation thus far, it appears that the adult male killed the female and the juveniles with a knife that was recovered from the scene.
The children were ages 10, 12, and 17. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and his wife are scheduled to appear at court in New York today to be arraigned on new charges of obstruction over allegations the lawmaker was working to benefit Qatar and Egypt. Oppenheimer cleaned up at last night's Oscars. It won 7 awards, including Best Picture. Poor Things won 4. Barbie took home just 1 on ABC. Best Song for Billie Eilish. It makes her the youngest to win a 2nd Oscar. KNX's Margaret Carrero.
Following the historic win, the 22-year-old was asked what she would say to a young person dreaming of a life in music.
Don't do it for other people. I want everyone to be doing something that they feel passionate about and that they feel proud of.
Eilish and her brother won their first Oscar in 2022 for the James Bond song No Time to Die.
In Brussels today, Sweden's flag was raised at NATO headquarters as the country became the group's 32nd member. It officially ends Sweden's longtime neutrality 2 years after Russia invaded Ukraine. Bitcoin trading above 72,000 for the first time. This is CBS News.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We have 3 70-degree days in a row coming up here, and then it will cool off a bit. We do have a chance of scattered showers and thunder showers by later this week as well. Today, mostly sunny, a bit breezy today with a high near 70. The wind southwest at 15 to 25. Tonight down to 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 70 by Wednesday. Partly cloudy, 70. Thursday, scattered showers, thunder showers at a high of 57. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 48.
And we are back, and if you call and you want to talk to one of us, you have to do it on the air because we're on the air, and that's what we do is talk on the air. So
There's no one else here.
Yeah, and we're not taking your calls off the air during a break because we're on the air.
Right.
And that's what we do is we talk on the air.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted to tell you a story about woodpeckers.
What'd they say? Some guy said to spray Tabasco sauce on the side of my house.
Yeah, because
He said it never came back again.
Okay, where are you going to get that big of a? I mean,
I don't need a ton. There's a small area where they've attacked. It's probably 3 feet across, 5 feet down. That's this area where it seems obsessed with.
Well, those bottles don't hold that much, do they?
Well, it depends. I mean,
a little goes a long way, though.
But I figure if you put a little, who knows? I can get up on a ladder. I'll try anything at this stage.
AJ.
What's AJ
wants you to know that he loves you and respects you.
Oh,
he's able to put aside the grudges and the animosity from high school.
What does he say about us, Steve?
He hates you guys.
I told him that's more than I can say.
He said he tolerates you guys.
Yeah.
Radio trash.
Barely tolerates us.
Radio trash.
He was in Saturday to record a commercial, so.
Yeah.
With you or with Suter? No, Suter wasn't here.
We just got his parts recorded, so when Suter gets back, we can finish it.
I see the wonders of radio.
Yes,
it's just the wonders of radio.
You're
going to make it seem like Tom and AJ were sitting right there together
on each
in
other's
commercial.
laps,
on each other's laps, sharing the same vision. All right, back to the Hawks. Yeah, we're leaving Thursday morning for Minneapolis, so Friday. I mean, we'll see. I mean, if they lose Thursday, we won't come home till Friday. If they lose Thursday, we won't come home till Friday. So I guess I could call in on the drive home because we'd be driving back. So, but I'm not making any predictions. I for some reason I think they're going to win Thursday, but God, I'm wrong so often. Why do we even bother sharing? Seriously, I mean, what's the point? I just said I think they're going to win. Now Iowa fans are like, well, that game's over. We're done. I mean, if they lose Thursday, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they stand as far as the NIT. And like I said, trying to host games with everything that's going to be going. It's
going to be ugly
if they don't. Well, I mean, they're trying to make it for a fifth straight year, which is very impressive. But that won't mean anything to the Howlers if they fall short here. I mean,
no, not at all.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, Ohio State's beatable. They're the 10 seed for a reason. They've had some losses now. But they can beat about anybody on a given day. Maybe not Purdue, but did they beat Purdue this year? Were they one of the teams that upset Purdue? I can't remember, but Ohio State's playing a little better right now. They've seemed to have gotten like a spark from this coaching change, and sometimes that happens. It gives you kind of an emotional boost. You play better for a while.
Hello?
Do you think, though, Pat, that one win against like Ohio State would be enough?
No, I think they got to win two. But again, who am I? I mean, that's just my gut feeling. I don't know for sure. But even when you see guys, even Joe Lunardi doesn't know for sure. But my gut feeling would be they need to win at least two.
Yeah, I think what really hurts us is that Michigan game.
Doesn't help. The being swept by Maryland doesn't help either.
No, but Michigan, I think the Michigan loss looks a lot worse than anything else that we've done.
Oh, without question, because they got the worst record. That's a quad 3 loss, and so. But still, had they just won yesterday, they'd be in right now, I think.
So now, what do you think about the women? Are they going to be the number 2 or number 3, number 1 seed?
That I don't know. I'm guessing they may be number 2. South Carolina's going to be number 1. I think they'll be the number 2.
No. Well, that's what I'm hoping is that we're 2 or 3, because if you're 4, you have to play them in the semifinals.
Yeah, I think they'll be number
3, we wouldn't have to see them until the final.
And I think they'd love to see that rematch in the finals too. I think they'll be number 2.
That's what everyone is saying. That they're going to be number 2.
They'd love to see that rematch. This is a completely different South Carolina team.
Well, yesterday that was an amazing little skirmish. I mean, it's wow.
Yeah.
And then the LSU coach just proved why nobody likes her.
She's insufferable.
Oh, my goodness. It's terrible. I mean, how do you come out and go, well, I wish you would have pushed Angel Reese over. Well, no, you don't, because Angel Reese was limping back to the bench at the time the All-Star.
Yeah, it was just a classless thing to say. Don Staley handled it so much better.
I didn't follow this. Now, what?
Oh, there was a fight in the South Carolina
Yeah, I
LSU game.
understand that.
Kim Mulkey's mad at the South Carolina center, who's 6'7", for pushing one of her smaller players. Said she should have pushed somebody her own size. Instead of Don Staley said that it was unfortunate. Neither team handled it well.
Yeah.
We got to learn from this and move on. Whereas Mulkey just said her little brat thing because that's who she is.
Mulkey wants attention constantly.
And she's a bully and a show-off.
Yeah.
But also a good
What's
coach.
going to be crazy is when they don't have any players for the first-round game. You know, when they're only their starter, or, the 5 people that were on the floor for LSU, and then the 6 people for South Carolina are going to be the only ones that are allowed to play.
Well, do we know that for sure, or are you just guessing that?
That's what they were saying on ESPN.
Well, yeah, but they're
Because
speculating. We don't know for sure, though. There no suspensions have been handed down, have they yet?
I thought it was like an automatic thing. If you got kicked out of a game, that was my understanding from what I was hearing. Now, I could be wrong.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Wrong.
I don't know exactly how they're going to handle the players that got off the bench. So yeah, there's a lot to sort out. But it's not good.
10, well, I don't see number 10 playing in at least the first round, the one that pushed the girl.
And both of those teams will play somebody vastly inferior in the first round.
ESPN issued a critical clarification about NCAA tournament suspension fallout. Multiple ejections of players because they left their respective benches.
See, there's rules about that.
Yeah.
In the pros and in college.
ESPN announcers shocked everyone with the report. All ejected LSU South Carolina players are ineligible.
Now they're backtracking?
Recognizing their error, the broadcast quickly apologized and clarified that only those directly involved in the incident
See, that's why you got to be careful,
would be
man.
suspended.
You got to be careful what you say in these situations.
Including Camila Cardoso.
Well, that's a significant player. But like I said, South Carolina is going to be a 1 seed playing a 6 seed. They're going to play a vastly inferior opponent in the first game of the tournament. So,
yeah, but we've seen upsets like that before.
Not many. Not many 1 versus 16s.
It would be nice to see them not make it to the point, because I would, it's one of those things where you can see the greatness in this women's team, Iowa, and you can see how they could make it all the way. But then yesterday was kind of a kryptonite moment where, Nebraska's been our kryptonite a couple of times this year, and we were able to pull out a win. And it's just, it's cool that they're in the tournament, and I hope they go a long ways. But man, it would be nice not to have to face South Carolina again, because they would have vengeance on their mind.
And a completely different team. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to be fun to see how it unfolds.
Hey, one more thing. So I went down to the wrestling on Saturday night. That was a good time. I didn't understand a lot of the rules that they wrestle under, because you get up 10-0 and you automatically win, and there was different stuff like that. But man, Iowa's got some badass women wrestling for them. Those women were, and it was funny to see a lot of the same teams on the same weight classes, like the one Iowa versus Iowa. I think it was at 125. I think is what the weight class was there. But I mean, Iowa, they did. It didn't look good at first because the heavyweights came out first, and our heavyweight got pinned. So it's it went from there, and you were thinking, oh boy, is it going to be one of these nights? And then the rest of the women just turned it around, and they went guns to the wall, and they were very impressive. And I'd never seen women's wrestling before, and like I said, the rules are a little weird. I'd like to understand a little more about. It's like if you're caught being inactive and you're warned twice, you get put on a 30-second clock, and if you don't score in that 30 seconds, your opponent gets a point. And there's just all these different criteria, and it was interesting, and I finally kind of got the hang of it by the time we got to the final match of the night. But congrats to the Iowa women, man, national champions. I've never got to see a national championship team like that in person before, so that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That is neat.
All right.
Well, anyway, hey, thanks for taking my call like always, guys. I love listening to you. You keep me company when I'm out here on the road, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool what we're doing.
What is this? See if we can't get them in here.
What are you doing?
He's always doing something with his phone.
Messages. I got messages.
He's always doing something.
I got messages.
He's like a 14-year-old teenager.
Yes.
Those people you see with their
Buffy.
this is you.
Buffy is picking me up.
When they build when they build a statue of you and put it out there, it's going to be you looking at your phone. There's times where I'll do the show and I'll look, and both of them will be just
I can multitask.
not paying any attention to what we're doing.
I've done this for 60 years. I don't even need to be
Yeah,
in
but
the
you didn't have
studio
a
to do it.
but you weren't doing a cell phone for 50 of it.
We had dead air, Steve. I know how much you hate that.
Listen, I had a car phone in the 70s.
Yeah, but
I was like Canon.
Yeah, but you didn't bring it into the show, and
Well, it was in the car.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It hooked up to the car.
The cell
Had a
phone.
big antenna on the back.
You're more
of the
into
car.
your cell phone now than you were like 5 years ago. You've got
I'm
the
looking at-
older you get, the more into your cell
When
phone.
you bring up stuff.
Well, you weren't
I'm
looking into
at
anything.
stuff.
I hadn't asked you to look
No,
up anything.
AJ keeps texting me.
Me too, but I'm
Yeah.
able to.
Yeah.
He texted me to remind me of a couple Valley State championships. But that was cool that gentleman. That's the truck driver, right?
Yeah.
That he was able to see the women's wrestling. Yeah, I'm not real familiar with a lot of the rules, but
Put Frank's hot sauce on your.
well, yeah, I'm sure if Tabasco works,
Yeah.
I'm sure Frank's would work too. But it doesn't come in. I don't think you'd need a ton. Basically, I imagine pouring hot sauce in like one of those water spray things you use for plants. Get up there on a ladder and spray it, and hopefully. But I want to fill the hole first. I want to get the hole filled with.
This truck came with a big thing and sprayed our house.
But yeah, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to see
Never
what that.
had it
I'm going to
again.
see what that guy says, and obviously it won't damage the wood, or they'd be out of business pretty quick. You know, so but yeah, I'll reach out and see. But yeah, I got to get this thing taken care of before I head to Cedar Rapids.
Well, before you get up on a ladder too. Call it.
Well, someone else will. I mean, I can get out if somebody's holding the ladder. It's like 15 feet up. It's not.
I can't do that.
Oh, I could do that. I don't have that. I'm afraid of heights, but not that bad.
As we get older, it's harder to climb up.
Yeah, that's why I have you do it.
Yes.
But yeah, this is just something that I just never imagine I'd be dealing with. Is a freaking bird destroying my house.
Well, I came in here the other day, and they had this. Okay, the bird keeps hitting the window.
I know
for no reason.
No,
it just
it's gone now, though, right?
Yeah.
No, the bird was trying to protect its spouse because the female was on the bush with it, and they saw the reflection and they thought they were
Okay, but
being
then I
threatened.
put a picture of a hawk up there, and it didn't do anything. And then they covered everything with cardboard.
And then it finally stopped. Because they couldn't see the reflection then.
Should have shown a picture of Bradman. And then there you go.
I have not watched it.
But then you find out that he owes the bird money. That's why the bird was trying to get in.
The bird wanted some money. I have not watched that movie.
You act like
on
that's
Tubi.
You act like that's unusual.
But I understand that it's not. It's not good.
Are you surprised by that?
It's troubling.
Are you surprised by
Somebody
that?
said the movie is troubling. That's the review I got.
That word speaks a lot.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it really does.
I've never seen that on any motion picture.
No, and weren't the Oscars last night?
Yeah, yes. I know.
Did Oppenheimer win everything?
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it. I've been told it's long and boring.
Yeah, well, I thought it was.
I mean, I'm fascinated by that, but the other thing is I've read a lot about it, so you know so much about the story.
But it could have been, to me, it could have been shorter, and it could have been done without the damn flashbacks.
So there's a ton of just slow conversational dialogue
Yeah,
where two people standing there talking. Yeah, I get restless. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
how long is it? Over 3 hours?
It's about 3 hours.
Yeah, to
Maybe
me, if you get over
maybe
two,
a little over.
to me, the ideal movie's about 2 hours, maybe a little longer than 2 hours.
No, I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, we all do.
But I mean, it just
it works out better for us than it does the poor souls.
It was
Japan.
like, I'm going to show you my technique, and here we go from black and white to color, and here we go from the past, and it just sometimes that crap's overused.
Okay, Oppenheimer or White Boy Rick?
You know something?
White Boy Rick.
Well, he was
More
working with
entertaining
chemicals
story.
too.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to kill the world.
No.
He was trying to make a living, trying to get his dad out of the ghetto.
Hello.
Hey, Pat, if you want a temporary solution, you could maybe put your sprinkler next to the garage until you get a better solution.
I don't have a sprinkler. I just have a hose.
Oh, well, you could run out and buy a $10 sprinkler.
Yeah, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
the water would go high. Would it go? This thing's like 17, 18 feet up.
Wow.
Well, you try it and find out, I suppose.
I guess I could. I mean, I could. But yeah, I've got several ideas here.
Flooding your basement.
No, this hole is in the side of the garage.
Yeah.
It's the garage is connected to the house, but it's the garage side of it, the very back corner of my garage where it's just pecking up a storm.
Yeah, I'm not saying to be a long-term solution just until you find a better one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate the suggestion. I hadn't thought about that.
And I did finish that Bradman movie.
And
what did you? Troubling?
In the end, the girl tells him that she's pregnant and he faints, and that's how it ends.
Pregnant from him?
Yes.
Seriously, that's how it ends?
Yes, that's how it ends.
The young girl?
Yes.
Is she hot?
Yeah.
So in real life?
How old?
No, it would never happen in real life.
What do you say the age difference is?
Oh, 20 years probably.
Wow. Unnecessary.
Maybe more.
And she's pregnant and he faints.
Yep.
And that's how it ends.
Yes.
That is troubling. Why did you finish it? If I could ask.
I just had to know. I just had to know.
Would you ever watch that with Jan?
No. Or myself?
It'd be just like watching Dateline.
No.
Could you see Suter and Ann watching it?
No.
They watched White Boy Rick.
Yeah, they ain't watching that.
No, they watched Gigi Allen.
Yeah.
Is this worse than Gigi Allen?
Well, if the poop was 20 years younger than Gigi, I mean.
I wonder what that girl got paid for that making that movie. If you had to guess, $1,000? I mean, I don't.
Nothing.
Well, somebody financed it. Who financed it?
I don't know. Honest to God, it's just, why would you, and that's how it ends.
Jesus. Now we got to try to finish this thing. Holoska ain't coming through that door anytime soon.
Oh.
Jess Settles ain't coming through that door. Don Patterson, Spring ain't here yet. We're on our own.
Yeah.
We're on our own for the rest of this show. Suter ain't even coming through that door to save us. And we're on our own. We got to figure out a
I
way
wonder
to
if it's got a plot line.
Let's move on. There he goes. He's going to.
Hello?
I wonder if that's how the movie ended, or that's just when he ran out of money. Hey, I got a question for you. I've been watching a lot of the games on TV. When did the replay stop showing the last play and just showing highlights? There's a lot of calls and stuff that I'd like to see the last play again, and it seems like they don't do that anymore. You guys notice that?
I don't as much because obviously I'm at a lot of the games, so I don't pay attention. But that is weird. I had not noticed that. So what are they doing instead of?
So so let's say that there's a call like somebody steps on an out of bounds, or they call a jump ball, or someone gets fouled, or there's a 3-second call, whatever it is. Instead of going back and just showing that last play, I always thought in the back of my mind that it used to be they would show you different camera angles of it, kind of like they would do.
I wonder if they're
football.
doing that to try to keep the crowd from not getting, because those things will still show up on the jumbotron too, and I wonder if they're trying to do that so the crowds don't get worked up.
I thought about that too, Pat, but at the women's game there was a call I was interested in, and you could hear the crowd respond to what they replayed on the jumbotron, but it wasn't replayed on CBS.
Interesting. Yeah,
they
I don't know.
replayed like a three-pointer and a layup and good plays.
I don't know.
I think that's CBS because I've seen that. I've seen them do it on like the other, when it was on FS1 or something. I think maybe that was just CBS.
Because you watch an NFL game, if there's a play like that,
there's 6 different angles.
They'll show you until I mean it's.
I think that was
Yeah. Last thing for probably more for Captain on this one. I was watching the CBS on the feed from Davenport, and did it seem to you that the aspect ratio was weird for the game? It seemed like it wasn't tall enough. Did you see that at all? Because I know
I don't watch the Davenport one, but I know that they're having a lot of problems with their transmitter site.
Okay, that's probably it.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, for some
all right,
reason.
guys.
All right.
Thanks for the
Here's
call.
York.
Yeah.
Bye.
Look what just came up on my Twitter feed. This is crazy. After the Utah State women lost tonight, Coach Kayla Ard was asked how they rebuild next season, and she says she just got fired. Never seen anything like this. I'm assuming that's going to be the last question. I'm going to listen to this. I want to make sure there's no cuss words because I'd like to play her response on.
Well, why do you think she'd be cussing?
Well, you want me to risk it?
Yeah, let's risk it.
I'm not going to be rebuilding. I just coached my last game at Utah State. I spoke with Diana, and they're going in a different direction, and I respect her decision, and I hope they get a really good coach in.
Well, that sucks.
I'm assuming that's going to be the last question. All right. Okay.
Well, she handled that pretty well.
Wow.
To me, can't you wait until after her press conference to fire her?
You would think.
I mean, I don't get that. Not that I'm not going to dive into the Utah State women's basketball program.
Give her props for showing up.
Yeah, and she handled that pretty well until she was pissed and what have you. But yeah, wow. I mean, just interesting.
Were you guys happy with the announcing talent on CBS yesterday?
I didn't pay any attention to it.
I
just don't care.
Yeah, I'm bad.
Unless they're just really bad, I just don't care.
I just sounded disinterested to me, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, well...
You're talking about the women's game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I never... God, really, though? It seems like, they were making Caitlin Clark seem like the second coming of God, and I get that.
They do that,
that means they're somewhat interested. I mean...
Yeah, it just seemed like the beginning of the game, it took them a while to get their stride.
I just turned up.
Well, I think with Caitlin missing threes, too,
That's
though.
probably
I think that
something to do with it. You're probably
right.
had
them a little bit. We weren't expecting this.
I turn the sound. I mean, I've got the sound on, but I turn it down. Sometimes it's distracting.
And then just play Led Zeppelin music?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch the game, and then you crank like Led Zeppelin 3.
Yeah.
Gallows pole, full volume, gallows pole.
No, so
hey, man.
To me, sometimes they start talking and they're not talking about the game, and I just find something.
I go into those things with not very high expectations for it now. I just don't. If they're adequate, I don't. I don't care.
Peacock, I don't. Peacock actually does a damn good job.
I've been told that. Now, how about Gus Johnson? A lot of people love him. He's a little bit too much for me at times.
Sometimes he is.
Just too much.
But a lot of people love him. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, and he's interested.
And you can tell he's very into what he does.
Yeah.
There's times, though, where it may be just, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, she just made a layup. She just made a layup. It went into the hoop, and the world is still here.
He's like those soccer announcers in Spain.
But he's a good showman. He's good for the the industry, and you can tell he's got a good rapport with Caitlin Clark and what have you. So, but yeah, I guess I didn't notice that yesterday. But I do think Caitlin was really struggling, guys. Didn't she miss her first 9 3-pointers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of throws them off. That's a big part of they're down by 11, but even at halftime, though, I wasn't saying, they're going to definitely win, but I knew they were coming back. They were not going to. No way Nebraska was just going to build and just run away. That was not going to happen. And sure enough, they came back, and so they get to host these first 2 games at Carver. I'll be look forward to covering those.
What did the ticket be?
They're not jacking the prices up for the.
I don't know. I don't know.
$20 or something like that.
We have Fran press conference tomorrow at noon, and then I'm guessing the men's team will either head up to Minneapolis either tomorrow or Wednesday, 5:30 game. So we'll see. But what's crazy about this? In 2 weeks, it could all be over.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him. Look at him multitasking.
Yep.
He put that phone down. Now he's our only connection to the outside world right now.
I know. That's a little scary. So, what do they do with the tickets for the men's game? I know people were bitching about the way you had to get moved in and out of the arena and all this stuff for the women's.
I haven't looked at it.
Why would you? Because if you're
I
going,
don't care.
You're on
selfishly, I don't care. Hopefully, it's not bad for the fans. All I know is I got Captain phone's ringing.
Hello, you're on the air. See this is the problem
you're like
we had. Well,
You're like Sarah on Andy Griffith.
Your phone's not working. I don't know what to tell you.
I heard him. Hello?
Yep. Okay.
I heard him again.
Yeah. I heard him too, but
I
phone's not working.
I heard an okay.
Yeah.
Can we help you?
Oh, I'm just calling in to pay for an auction item.
Oh, see?
Well, okay.
Sorry about that. Give us about a half an hour and call back.
Yeah.
We don't have anyone in the office. Everyone's on the air.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Yeah, no mood to play around.
No.
Wants his auction item. He wants
his stuff.
He wants his stuff, and he wants us to leave him the hell
Even though
alone.
the auction was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're throwing him under the a paying customer, and you're throwing him under the bus.
No, we still have his stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
We just prefer they get them, a little quicker.
You guys are a little belly aching, a little whining, a little radio whining.
What is wrong with you? I fixed your phone.
You did.
Is that any appreciation?
You did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't ask. Where were your hands clean?
No, I just
No, they're never clean.
100% fecal matter.
I saw this thing at the Hy-Vee. It was a big plastic full of like rice checks and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought about getting it for you guys. $6 on sale. Put it out there and just watch you guys dig into every orifice you have along with that thing. It's amazing. Some of the stuff I've seen happen here is just it's astonishing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think there's so much immunity built up in this place, nobody can get sick.
Well, we're not coming in from slopping the hogs and digging our hands in
No,
there.
but there's okay. Well, we'll talk about it
All right,
then,
you can-
off the air.
All right, that's fine.
What are you looking at, Kat? You getting some updates from the chat room?
Caitlin came in the men's game, had her hood up.
She did.
Yeah, she. And she was. Then they showed her sitting with Connor.
Martin was there?
They showed her sitting with Connor and the bride. Hey, there's Caitlin with her boyfriend Connor McCaffrey. They were doing like play-by-play.
I know.
And she was kind of buried, kind of hunched over. Probably she didn't want to
Well,
be a
people
distraction.
are going, boy, she really looked tired.
Well, she probably was.
Yeah,
she played a game. They just flew back. I mean, yeah.
Well, and she's like pulled in 17 different directions after the game, and she probably was on 3 or 4 different shows, and oh my God.
Yeah. So it was nice to see the team come in and support them. I just wish the men would have won. I mean, I just feel bad for them. I mean, they're good kids, and you just was hoping they could keep this momentum going. And I mean, season's not over, but it's just everything's going to be a lot harder now.
Somebody took a picture of the women's team on Wednesday. I think they were at the play-in game, and they were all dressed in like sweats, matching sweats, and they said, "Hey, we're here for the Iowa. Let's get you a pose for a picture." And they just acted like real goofy, and I'm like, "They're going to win. They're already loose, and they're going to have fun this weekend." And that's the best thing about the team is they always
really
look like they're
cohesive.
having fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's also fun when you're winning too.
That helps. Yes.
So-
I like to think of this team as cohesive.
Oh,
having fun.
We skip out of the building and we go like, "This is the greatest job
This
ever."
is your vision, just a skeletal staff. Nobody here. Very little payroll right now. Think about it.
I'm paying everybody that isn't here.
That's true.
Yeah, you'd rather the place would be full and people would
Suitors
be
heading
doing
back
stuff.
south though to come back and help bring it all together, right? They'll be back here tomorrow.
Somebody better. I'm not capable.
Back on that phone plugging away tomorrow. So, but yeah, I was just hoping that they would win that game. Peyton Sanford, he's a good kid, man. Patrick, there's a lot of good kids on this team, and Cricky's parents come all the way from Edmonton, Alberta, and he scores 2 points. It was just unfortunate.
It was bad.
It was just unfortunate.
But that crap happens.
It does.
And
That's
like
sports.
You say, this freaking team then can rebound and do,
Yeah, the old days before the Big Ten tournament, there's a chance the season would be over right now.
Yeah.
They may not have
That's
even made the
true.
NIT. So, so we'll see. I think at worst they can make the NIT. Oh, here, take it.
Hello.
Hey, I've been listening to off and on what you guys were talking about, but did anybody happen to call in and comment about the reserve seating at the Target Center?
We've had some complaints.
Yeah, there have been a lot of, I've seen a lot of complaints.
To cause long lines in between sessions, is that what it was?
Well, no. Well, I had went up and I bought tickets in December, and at that time they were all general admission seats.
Okay.
And when we get there Friday night, Friday afternoon, we find out that there's reserved seating, and it's just not a little amount. courtside all the way up to the top mezzanine.
So you went there thinking it was going to be
Probably,
first come. You went there thinking it was going to be first come, first serve.
Right.
Interesting.
And the long lines they're waiting to go through security check-in. So after the the morning session or afternoon session, they cleared the whole arena out on Friday, and then you had to go through the metal detectors and wands and all that
Again?
stuff. So
Wow.
regardless of whether you were reserve seating or general admission seating. So, and some of those people were waiting in line. I mean, it was a crazy amount.
I saw some people tweet
arena,
that. I saw some people tweet that they'd been waiting in line for over an hour.
Steve Anderson was just, he was on social media just, beside
I
himself.
saw him.
Yeah.
I was with Tom and Ann.
Yeah.
And I stood out in the skywalk system for 2.5 hours before to get into the Iowa session.
I would have went insane.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what Tom and Ann ended up choosing to go to reserve seating then after Friday nights sitting there waiting in line.
Wow.
They went over on Saturday.
I wonder if they're going to do the same with the men. You think it's going to be the same problem with the men?
I don't know. It was.
I don't know.
Just a ton of people just complaining. Can I ask you a
And
question? Were they
anything.
Were they drinking?
No, well, Tom and went to go get a couple cups of coffee.
Okay,
so you didn't get a contact drunk?
Well, I'm just playing into Harty. Excuse me.
That coffee, little do we know that coffee had 3/4 Baileys in it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I was just curious. For the guys that they're, the people that were traveling up there, they might be shocked if they're going to have the same policy. I'd imagine they probably would. Now, Friday night, after waiting in line 2.5 hours, I wanted to see what reserve seating cost. And in Section 112, they were starting at $300 a session per seat.
So and where's 112? Is that a corner, like in the corner, mid-court? Where would that be?
It's a baseline. I mean, it was right on one of the baselines, so you're not even in center court.
So are you saying Tom and Ann watched the last two games in reserve seats?
I'm pretty sure. I never was in contact with them after. I texted them Saturday morning. I said, "Hey, dude, what'd you do? Are you going to be, you want to wait in line with me?" And he said, "No, I'm not going to have anything to do with waiting in line. I don't."
We'll have to see what they paid for their tickets.
Yes.
So you think they maybe paid? Go ahead.
He didn't say what he paid, but he said he was in Section 112, and he said that there were decent seats. So.
We'll have to. That'll be a Wednesday topic.
Yeah, that seating thing was a total debacle.
Well, because based on what you're saying, there's a chance they could have spent $1,200 to watch the last two games. If it's $300 a seat, think about that. Wow.
Yeah,
the Caitlin effect.
I couldn't imagine, and I looked like Ann's picture that was on Facebook with her drinking orange juice. Looked like she was in like a skybox.
Yeah, it did look like that. Orange juice, please.
So I don't know. You got to ask him, though. All right. Thanks, guys, for everything.
Maybe it was Tang.
Tang. When was the last
Sunny
time,
Delight.
When was the last time you had a glass of Tang?
My mom never bought it. I've had it before. My mom never bought Tang.
I had it once when I was a kid. It tastes like crap.
Yeah. How about Sunny Delight?
Sunny D crazy about orange juice.
Sunny D was a big hit with my kids.
I like orange juice, but man, it's got so much sugar in it.
Oh, it does.
It just is. It's way worse than pop.
Yeah.
And what's funny is you think of orange juice almost as kind of a healthy drink.
Yeah.
Because it's fruit, but it's just pouring sugar in.
If you're a diabetic, forget it.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
I've never been.
That's unfortunate though about the tickets, man. I feel bad for the fans.
No, they were, and I mean, I saw a ton of them
because they're already spending a lot of money going up there.
Yeah. A ton of them.
I bet if Tom and Ann did have to go and spend an extra, I bet you my guess is they'd be probably pretty pissed, don't you think? He could have a good story to tell on Wednesday.
Hello.
I got a question. If you shoot the ball and it hits the rim and doesn't go in, does the shot clock start over?
Yes.
It didn't quite a few times for Iowa. I even watched on replay. Caitlin missed one at 18 seconds. And they rebounded, and it didn't go back to 30 seconds.
Really? How could they miss something that blatant? Although I missed it while watching the game.
Well, I don't know why I caught it. And then I was watching my wife, and I go, look, they did it again. And the whole rest of the game, I said, I think if it hits the rim, it's got to start
Well,
over.
once the shot's taken, I mean, and it hits the rim, that
would.
And if you get the offensive rebound, then you gain another 35 seconds or whatever it is.
Yeah. They didn't, though.
Huh.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
I thought maybe it had hit the backboard or something, not the rim. But
Maybe there was. Maybe it did. Maybe there was, because there were a couple shots that didn't hit the rim. That's one thing about women's basketball. You can almost be assured to get at least 1 or 2 air balls in a game.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
do. I mean, Nebraska, that one girl launched that one from like 40 feet. I just don't think she had the strength to get it to the basket.
she made a lot of air balls. And did you see the arch on that ball?
Yeah, that's why I kept thinking this is going to end at some point. They're not going to keep making these shots, and they didn't.
Man, it almost hit the ceiling.
Yeah, so.
That was a good game. Man, that was just a great Sunday. Just made my day.
Yeah, for women's basketball. Everything else was not very good.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, back to spreading manure.
Who, you or us?
Yeah.
Me.
Who's the perpetrator?
Hey, when you're done, bring us some Chex Mix, will you?
Yeah. Big bowl of it.
I enjoy it. It's a beautiful day. It's just,
I'm actually going to put my computer outside on my deck and ride outside today and just wait for that bird. It's on. It's on. That bird is not going to win today, although he could be winning right now. He may know that I'm here. I get home.
He's probably listening.
I get home and it is the size of a hubcap.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But no, that's unfortunate. I mean, if you got if to avoid staying in line for 2.5 hours, you got to spend like $600 for 2 tickets. That's ridiculous.
No, and I mean there were lines at 6 o'clock in the freaking morning.
I wonder if
Saturday.
that's a ploy in order to get people to spend more money.
I don't know. It's Saturday
It
morning.
sounds like a rip, though.
Saturday morning, I got up and looked.
Yeah,
at
we
my-
talked about it
looked at my
Saturday morning.
phone, and there were people in line at 6 o'clock in the freaking morning, and there was a line.
That's insane.
Let me get some of the complaints. Most of the complaints were from Ann.
But you didn't see any complaints from Tom or Ann on Facebook
not
or anything?
that I noticed.
Because, man, that would suck if they...
Oh, God, yes.
But, yeah, I would imagine they're going to do the same setup for the...
Here's one of his. I saw the Big Ten commissioner here, and I said, Commissioner, the peasants are getting angry about the seating situation here at the Target
This
Center.
is Suter?
Do you know what he said? No, this is Anderson.
Oh, Steve Anderson.
Do you know what he said to me? Literally, he said, "Oh, let them eat cake."
What?
That's what Anderson said. I don't know. Line's gone. Now you can walk right in. Anyone in line isn't moving. This is during the game, so. Congratulations to the Big Ten for a total and utter and complete S show at the Big Ten Women's Tournament for tickets and seating. Hope I can get back in for an Iowa game.
It's unfortunate.
I don't see. I'm looking at Tom's now.
Because you buy these tickets, you purchase the tickets in advance. You go there not thinking that you're going to have to spend more money to seat, especially if it's in the thousands. That's just, I've never heard of anything like that before.
Here's one guy. I have stood here for 3 hours. This is ridiculous.
So what was making them why wasn't the line moving?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Wow. Well, we'll see what Tom says when he gets back. I'm sure he'll have some stuff to tell you guys tomorrow. I mean, he's on the air tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll go over it tomorrow. He'll give you his account, and hopefully they didn't have to go and spend an extra $1,500 to. But it sounds like that may have been the case.
Hello.
Hi, I was at the tournament, and the seating situation was a hot mess. The reason people stood in line was because of the general admission.
Okay.
So to get a good seat or to go, I guess if you wanted a seat in the lower bowl,
yeah,
that's why they started lining up early. But the thing was, as I mentioned before, nobody knew anything. So one day, and when they bought the tickets, the general admission in the lower bowl, sorry, was there were more seats available, but then like on the next day, those sections got smaller, and I think they even told them maybe Friday that the next day general admission would be on the like upper deck. So even to get the best seats, like of the remaining lower bowl, people lined up super early. So then everybody's lining up to get those seats. So on Friday, people missed the first session because they wanted to go to the Iowa game and get the good seats. So the line is like forming through the giant skywalk system. Yeah. I actually had a reserved seat, so I was like, oh, no big deal, you know? So I went to those games, and when I left the arena, because they made us clear out between the sessions, I believe it was like, maybe like 3:58 or something like that. And they, the whole issue was is they wouldn't open the doors again before an hour out. So they would have an hour to get this giant line of people that snaked through the entire skywalk system back into the arena.
And the Big Ten made it seem like it was just the Caitlin Clark effect. That it was, they didn't, I mean, it was a huge part of it, but it was being handled poorly.
Yeah.
It was the Caitlin Clark effect.
But it was handled poorly,
all of the fans coming in for that 5:30 session were Iowa fans who bought general admission tickets.
No,
So
I get what you're saying, but had it been handled better, it would.
Yep.
I mean, it just they weren't ready for the Caitlin Clark effect. But did you hear the other caller who said that some people would go and buy reserve seats and had to spend as much as $300 to begin with? Do you know of any of that?
I don't know of any of that, but it makes sense because then I feel like the arena and the Big Ten they didn't communicate well.
Sounds like it.
Because for the Saturday game, the arena opened 90 minutes before the game, and then for the championship game, they opened 2 hours before the game.
Okay.
So they were working with it. Like, even when I left Friday to get back in, it took me an hour and a half to get back in, and I had 10 minutes before tip-off of the Iowa game.
Wow,
I had to leave. I was not happy. A lot of people, they were just not happy. Every day they told us something different. No one knew any answers. One security guy did say they worked some of the same security people worked the Iowa game at the University of Minnesota, so like security was ready. I think it's the Big Ten itself.
No, it sounds like it. It just sounds like they weren't ready for the numbers that she was going to bring in, because a lot of these Big Ten women's tournament over the years, other than a few marquee games, some of those games the arena's not very full.
Correct.
So
I was at almost every game, and it was a night and day difference from when the Iowa game.
They just weren't ready for it.
Yeah. The difference, I think, for them this next weekend with the men's tournament, I believe, I don't know that there's any general admission. I think you buy it at reserve.
Is that the difference? Okay, I'll have to look into that.
That's something that would need to be checked. So if there's no general admission, then that takes away the whole need to be there at a certain time to get a good seat.
Okay, well, thanks for appreciate you shedding some light on it.
Yep, you're welcome.
Wow.
By the way,
2.5 hours. Imagine that.
Iowa City landfill is closing today at noon.
Because of the wind?
Yeah, wind's kicking up between 18 and 25 miles an hour, and it's also a day you want to be careful with fire, like don't burn, don't flick your cigarettes out of the car, anything like that.
What about I grilled yesterday on my wood deck? Should I race home and spray it with water?
I would if I were you.
I may do that.
I was going to ask Pat, how far do you think your alma mater, Drake, can go in the NCAA?
Hey, that's a good question. I watched that game last night. I mean, it's going to be tough. The thing when you're a team like Drake, I don't know what they're going to probably be seated 10th or 11th probably. They're going to play a tough. They're not going to have any type of easy game. They could be an underdog, but I watched this team play. Man, they got good shooters. I could see them winning a game or two. I really could. Darian DeVries has done an incredible job, and his son is a great player. I mean, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, how did he not get to be the Valley Coach of the Year?
Well, that Indiana State, they won the regular season title. That guy's had a really good year too. They've been ranked. They've just been a little bit ahead of Drake for most of the season. But now, I mean, Darian DeVries, I just hope Drake can keep him. I'm amazed they've kept him this long. I'm amazed that no other Power 5 has swooped in and taken him away. Sooner or later, it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, they really looked good yesterday.
They did.
They had a little bad spurt. But
Well, the good thing too is they blew that big lead, but they didn't fold, man. They kept fighting and found a way to win that game.
Yeah, no, well, good luck to them. See if they can do.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, I wanted to say good congratulations to Darian DeVries. Drake winning the Valley. They're in the tournament again. These are the glory years. This is like Maury John days. I wasn't really old enough to remember the Maury John days. I read about it and I heard my parents talk about it, but man, I mean, Darian DeVries has done an incredible job. And there was, I know Pat Forty from, I think I don't know if he works for Sports Illustrated anymore, because didn't they fire everyone?
Yeah, it's down to
But
nothing.
he works for somebody. He wrote a column about Darian and Jared. Darian is the older brother of former Iowa football player Jared DeVries, who sadly lost a son to a genetic heart defect recently, and they had a real tearful. I mean, Jared and Jared's wife and Darian and Tucker, they all kind of had a tearful embrace afterwards, kind of sharing the mixed emotion moment of being so happy for the win, but then so sad because their son wasn't there. He and Tucker were pretty good friends, but it was a well-written column, and it was very emotional. But yeah, Jared was there supporting his brother, and that's cool. And as a Drake grad, man, I couldn't be more pleased with what's happened with Drake basketball. It's been incredible what he's done.
How in the hell did Sports Illustrated fail?
Well, I mean, look at the sporting news. I mean,
yeah,
there's so many tabloids. They're gone.
Yeah,
they're just gone. There's just not enough advertising to keep those things afloat anymore.
Are you familiar with True TV?
Yeah.
Channel?
Well, yeah, it's the one that does the NCAA tournaments.
Oh, yeah, now
Operation
they're going
Repo
to,
and
now, well,
I mean,
they're going to drop that stuff, and they're only going to concentrate
lizard lick towing
on sports.
Really?
And they're going to grab more games. They're starting to do it just in.
They're not even a streaming service.
Yeah.
What about lizard lick towing?
Lizard. I saw them at Daytona in 2015.
Did you go up and talk to them?
Huh?
Did you
Hey, Liz.
Which one's used Liz and which one is used Lick?
What did you want me to talk to him about?
Towing, the towing industry. Didn't you like that show?
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, it didn't last. Nor did Operation Repo.
Yeah.
But I found out that aren't most of those things just made up skits?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I found out they weren't real, what's the point?
Repo was made
What's
up.
the point?
No, because the real Repo, there were people that did Repo, and they said the real Repo would have shown them facing gunshots.
True. Yeah, they're risking their lives on.
Yeah.
I did wake up till about 1 o'clock this morning, and I couldn't get back to sleep. So you know what I did? I found it on. I just scrolled down and found Dateline. Clicked on Dateline. It was like a 3-hour episode on someone who was killed in 2004.
Yeah.
I mean, God, that show is so boring.
They kill people. I like
It's
it.
just, it's the same. I mean, that show could be a half an hour long. Instead, they do 2-hour ones now.
First of all,
and
you
they
don't
really
have,
stretch it out.
Well, and if you miss some, every time they come back from a
They
commercial,
tell you what they just
break,
covered.
Yes,
yeah,
They rehash.
yeah, the whole thing.
It's excruciating.
Hello.
Back to the Hawks.
All right, if we must.
Women's shot clock starts at 35. If the offense takes a shot, hits the rim, it resets to 20.
Oh, is that what the rule is? I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, now that does not happen in the men. At least I don't believe it does. But no, I had no idea about that. That's interesting, and I get that it's to speed up the game,
sure,
to keep the game. So that obviously maybe that answers what the caller. Maybe this is the caller back.
Hello.
More shot clock talk.
Okay.
So, unless I'm missing something, and which I probably am, but anyways, when a shot clock expires, like yesterday, that would have been a good example. Is shot clock expired and for the men, and then you have to stop, reset, and throw it back in. But they were on a fast break; they would have had 3-on-1. So I wonder if there's anything that could be done with the shot clock so it expires. Why do you have to stop play and go? It's almost at a disadvantage of the defense at that point.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't one of the coach. Didn't Underwood complain about that at one time?
I'm not sure.
They were in a fast break. Well, I mean, my only answer is it's a rule. I mean, if they don't get the shot off the moment that horn sounds and the clock expires, the play's dead, even though a player may get a rebound and start. That's just the rule. I mean, it may not be a great rule, but that's just it.
Sure.
And it works for and against teams.
It does. And we were talking about speeding the game up and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I just thought, geez, maybe if the ball's out of their hands and it expires, that there's a difference. And if you got, I don't know, I think there's too many gray areas. For example, you shoot it after the clock, yeah, and then the other team would get the rebound. You'd have to go out of bounds anyway.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, it is what it is. I don't know really how they can improve it. Luckily, with Iowa, you don't see a lot of shot clock violations.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that was it.
All right. But yeah, I did not realize that about the women, 35 down to 20. I've probably been told that, and I just didn't remember it. But that I think kind of explains that. And that's the other thing with the Iowa women. You don't really have to worry about the shot clock. When they're playing well, they're shooting within the first 10 to 15 seconds of a possession. And lots of times they're shooting in transition because that's when they're at their best. When Caitlin's in the middle running everything, looking up for their full vision and what have you. So, but yeah, it's good. Like I said, these next 2-3 weeks are going to be interesting. It'll be interesting when we look back at the end of March at what we're looking back at. We'll be talking about the start of spring football and looking back at Caitlin Clark and whatever the men did. And wrestling, of course, and the NCAAs and what have you. But no, it's going to be – and then baseball will pick it up full swing. And I'm not ready to give up on Iowa baseball yet. I know a lot of fans are pissed and frustrated. They got to get the pitching fixed. But then yesterday they scored 20 runs in one game and then one in the second game. Yeah. There's a lot they got to get fixed. They just got to start playing better.
Baseball's just really wonky.
Baseball's really fickle. It's hard to predict. It's very touch and go. But they've got a lot of time left. It's not time to panic. But, I'm sure Rick would be the first to tell you we got some work to do.
Okay, so if the shot clock's at 23 and they miss the shot, the clock stays running. But if it's like 18 or 15,
it goes to 20.
It goes back up to 20.
Okay, all right.
I just looked it up.
I was not aware
maybe
of that.
That's where guy got confused.
Yeah, like I said, if I'm confused, it's easy to see why he would be confused.
Yeah. Oh, it's easy to see why he'd be confused.
And it's easy to see why I'd be confused. But yeah,
that just got activated last year. That rule.
Oh, so at least I'm not that far behind.
Yeah.
And it's all done to speed the game up.
Sure.
Yeah. And which is fine. I mean, like I said, we're just fortunate though both of our teams play in an up-tempo style and play fast. And,
boy, they sure do.
And but yeah, it was amazing though the fans that flocked to that arena. It just sounds like the Target Center. The Big Ten, they just weren't ready for it, and they didn't handle it very well. But man, I would be pissed though, because to me, did he purchase his tickets in advance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go there already thinking you've spent your money for your tickets.
Yeah, most people do. Most people do.
And my guess is he probably spent a couple $100 for them.
Or you expect these kind of seats, even general admission seats.
And then to have to think that you have to spend more money for something like that.
They probably had to pay a premium because weren't all the games sold out?
Yes. That doesn't mean there was.
Well, I don't know. So I think he purchased them before they were all sold out.
He did. He purchased them early.
But I thought he had general admission tickets.
But what I'm saying, though, is he was faced with an added expense due to what looked like bad planning. That's not fair.
Well, we'll find out
I'm defending
tomorrow.
The suitors. We got to fight for their behalf.
Well, times that by hundreds.
Like I said, they could have spent an extra $1,500 to watch. That's not fair.
No, it isn't.
No, nobody's forcing them to do that.
No,
but still,
it's all left up.
If you're all the way up there, you're already up there. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how the Big Ten responds to that. Because they showed the one line, and they were literally wrapped all the way through the
into the skywalk.
The skywalk,
past the skywalk,
and you could tell people were getting very frustrated.
Yeah. Before we get done,
is it already 10 to 11?
Roger Waters' son.
What did he do now?
Roger Waters' son said, his dad's trying to stop him from performing Pink Floyd songs.
Yeah.
His son, he said, Dad's just kind of crazy.
Watch him sue him. Yeah. I mean, in fairness to Roger Waters, he does have the rights. He wrote most of their material.
Okay, but if they're paying for the rights, for the copyright.
What if he refuses to pay and says, I don't want you using it? I mean, he could do that.
Yeah.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying he might.
Kid.
I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. And when you say his kid, what is he, 60?
Well, but it's still his kid.
Yeah, no, you're right.
50-something, I think he is.
Yeah, because Roger Waters is like 80.
Yeah.
And nuts.
Yeah. Yes, that's what the kid
Does he
said.
like Trump or Biden, or does he hate them both?
No, he hates everything.
He hates them both?
He hates Putin, he
I
hates
wanna hear-
Biden, he hates Trump.
Do you think Trump has heard of Roger Waters?
No.
If told about him, what do you think? He'd dismiss him right away.
Yeah.
Especially if he was. Now, if Roger Waters liked him, he would say that he's the greatest musician ever.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But
He'd be up there with Kid Rock. So. But,
yeah, but anyway, I saw that article yesterday in some music magazine, I think Classic Guitarist or something. So,
that's just unfortunate. I don't get it.
my
Why
God.
turn on your own flesh and blood? Doesn't make sense. But like I said, I've dismissed Roger Waters. I love still listening to Pink Floyd, but the stuff I'm listening to was written 50 years ago. So most of it, I should say. So like I said, I'll reach out to Adam, try to get him on. I will definitely be on Wednesday. I'm not sure about Friday. We'll have to play that by ear and just kind of go from there. And I'm going to reach out to Iowa, though. I wouldn't mind trying to get this NCAA champion on, Rivaldo Mar. I think that'd be a fun interview.
Yeah.
And I like to try to show other sports, too. Of course, football and basketball are the main focus, but I like to try to give the stage to other ones. So I'll let you know. Maybe by Wednesday we'll see. And then Suter's he'll be back Wednesday, right?
yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.
Mark back tomorrow. All right, everybody, enjoy the weather, man. It's going to be beautiful. All right, Bird, I'm coming.
Hawk Fanatic. Check it out. It's free.
Download the new KCJJ app. Keep up with the latest news, weather, and high school sports. You can send us pictures, audio, and video.